Hey, what's up, everyone? Joel here, and today's May 22nd, and we're going to be doing a new moon ritual today. And I just thought I'd share what I do, how I do it, and just let you guys see how it goes. The thing is, new moons are the best time to start new projects and take on new intentions. I feel like the time for all of us to step up and really be who we're here to be is now. And I feel like a lot of this can help you. Like, mind you, you don't have to do exactly how I do it, you don't have to do anything like I do. The whole point of a ritual is because we are physical beings with a physical mind that is based on memory and association. We have to do kind of physical things in order to solidify changes in our attitudes and changes in our intentions. It just helps to bring it into more of a activation, so to speak. So yeah, like a lot of the stuff I do might seem, a bit extravagant or over the top. I like to take things and make them fancy and very personal. The whole point with a ritual is to make it personal. You want to do whatever resonates with you, leave the rest, make up your own thing, make it personal. You want to own this. Make it your own ritual so that what you do has meaning and that it actually solidifies the idea that there is a new beginning afoot and you are taking steps into a new direction and actually activating and actualizing a new trajectory, basically. So new moons are perfect for that. Forgive the lighting in the room, but I'm just going to be performing the ritual here in my den, which is where I have all my crystals and candles and everything set up here for that. So yeah, the lighting might seem a little bit weird, and also maybe forgive it if my eyes look a bit tired. I have had very little sleep the last few days. I tend to get really busy, especially late at night. I'm a night owl like that. Guilty as charged. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you guys what I've been working on here. So there's my beautiful masterpiece that I was working on. And you can see my musical sketching here. So neat. But anyways, back to the ritual. So in regards to the new moon, like I said, it's Friday the 22nd here at 11:38 Mountain Daylight Time. And the moon and sun are conjunct in Gemini. Just entered Gemini. And that means it's a new moon when the moon is basically in front of the sun and has no light on it. This video obviously won't be live right away for this new moon, but it will definitely come in handy future new moons. You can always refer to this. Check this out, because like the moon, this stuff is timeless. But yeah, so just so you know, starting the ritual, I'm wearing like a black robe. Black just represents the new moon. It's basically like the underworld, the underbelly. Like, we all have these phases, and like the full moon is the full power and the full waxing of the moon. It's the new moon is basically like the death and the rejuvenation of it. It's like a reset, basically. So it's the perfect time, like I said, just take on new intentions and set new intentions for a trajectory ahead. Change things up that you weren't serving you. Let them go. That's what this is all about. So to start off, I'm just going to get this candle, and I'm using a black candle in order to correspond to the new moon, and I'm just going to etch my intentions into the candle. I'm going to do that with this selenite wand, but you can honestly use anything. Like I said, I'm just making this my own. Use whatever resonates with you. So here I wrote the intention for new beginnings, and I also put in the symbols for the moon. So we start at the top with the new moon symbol. I also put in the first crescent and the first quarter, and then the waning moon, and then the next new moon. And in addition to that, I also put some cuneiform into the candle. This is kind of personal, so I'm not going to go into an explanation for that. But yeah, anything that resonates with you, go for it. So I'm just going to put that candle in the candle holder, and I'm going to put some essential oils on it to sort of activate it. I'm using patchouli, so I'm just going to put a drop of that onto the wick. Sage is also a really good essential oil if you want to use that, or cypress, or nutmeg. There are many different oils. You can look that up. And I'm going to also rub some of that down onto the candle just to kind of anoint it to activate it. So once that's done, I'm just going to light the candle, and it's going to flare up a bit just because we put oil on the wick. But once that kind of dies down, I'm going to get some sage, and we're going to smudge the room in order to create a sacred space. We're just going to light that in the flame. And basically we're invoking all 4 elements here. The sage represents earth, the fire, of course, fire, but we have an abalone shell for an ashtray to represent water, and a feather to spread the smoke to represent air. And I'm just going to circle around the room, fanning the smoke around into all the corners in order to create a sacred space. What sage does is basically clear out any energy. Like, it just kind of resets the whole stage, almost like a grand reset button. And that corresponds well with the new moon, actually. And then once that's done, I'm going to take some Palo Santo and put that into the flame. And once I get a really good flame there, I'm going to blow that out and just leave that in the abalone shell and allow the smoke from that to diffuse as well. Palo Santo is a really good activator of positive, beneficial energy. And I also have a bit of patchouli incense. So I'm going to just light that. And once I get a good flame going, just blow that out and allow that to diffuse in the incense burner. So next up, I'm going to be meditating. And in order to do that, I'm just going to create a crystal grid to sit in. So the main crystal that I'm going to be using for particularly this new moon is going to be malachite. The reason for that is because I actually have a calendar which I channeled based on astrology and the stars and basically syncretism in general. And the month that corresponds with Gemini is ruled and represented by malachite. So we have that right here. And the new moon in this month is what we are activating with this meditation, with the intention to move forward with a new trajectory. This calendar technically represents the beginning of the age of Aquarius, and I trace that back to the year 2012. That was when my spiritual awakening really began in earnest, but it really just came through as a flash of divine inspiration. So that was quite an experience, but I won't get into that in this video. I might make a future video on that. So malachite will correspond with this specific month, represented by Gemini in tropical astrology. And in sidereal astrology, it corresponds with Taurus, the bull. And the main star system in this month, the horns of the bull, are the Pleiades, which I even made a Pleiades meditation for when the sun conjuncts with the Pleiades on May 20th. Every year. And I'm also going to be using some quartz as well, and some pink tourmaline and black tourmaline just for protection. Tourmaline is a very good stone. It also helps protect against EMF. And in addition to that, I'm wearing a shungite necklace, which is a really good protector for EMF. On top of all that, the quartz is a very good amplifier and director of energy. Quartz is actually a really good crystal to have. Mind you, I have hundreds of crystals, but I have a bunch of quartz. So if you're going to get any crystal at all, make sure you have some quartz, because it's all around a very beneficial and versatile crystal. And I'm also going to be wearing a malachite ring. And in addition to that, a hematite ring. And hematite is a very good grounder of energy. And of course, my serpent ring, Nahustan. So yeah, I have 2 malachite tumble stones, as well as my malachite bracelet, which I'm wearing. But malachite is a very good stone that corresponds not only with the heart chakra because it's green, but it also facilitates like intentionality and manifestations. It's also a very angelic stone. The word malachite actually comes from the Hebrew malachim, which means angels. So I will be placing these crystals in a circle. I will be placing the malachite on either side in the front. I will be placing one of the quartz in the back, the pink tourmaline in the front, and two black tourmalines, one on either side in the back. And so to activate the crystal grid, I'm just going to draw a unicursal hexagram with this selenite wand. I'm going to start at the quartz crystal and connect that to the malachite, to the tourmaline, to the pink tourmaline, to the other black tourmaline, and the other malachite, and finishing back up at the quartz crystal. And I'm also going to be putting the other 3 quartz crystals here around a vegan pizza that I have. I'm actually going to be eating this later on once the ritual is over. I actually fasted yesterday in commemoration for this new moon, so this is what I'm going to be breaking my fast on. Oh, and in case you're wondering, that asemic writing in the background, that's actually some light language that I channeled. I channel light language quite frequently, and I actually have this very light language featured in one of my other videos. So if that's anything that interests you, there's a card for that right here. So getting right into the meditation, I'm going to be holding a piece of MOLDAVITE as well. MOLDAVITE is a very powerful crystal. It actually comes from the Czech Republic, where it was formed from the impact of a meteorite. So the energy from MOLDAVITE is extremely high. It activates the heart chakra. It actually activates all our chakras. Very spiritual. But yeah, MOLDAVITE is a very powerfully activating crystal. Look into it if you're interested. That's definitely one crystal you want to look into. And I'm also going to be putting in some earplugs just to keep the noise out and to keep my mind from getting distracted, because I get very distracted from sounds. And lastly, I also have this slab of selenite. This is what I'm going to be placing my feet on just to ground the energy. For the last 3 days, it's been pretty rainy and cold here in Calgary. I don't want to go outside in order to ground myself, so I'm just going to be using this slab. Some people might say, oh, you can't ground yourself unless you're bare feet in the earth, if you're not in a cave or a hut built out of sticks and mud. And I understand that that's a great way to get your energy reset. But when you think about it, houses are built out of sticks and mud if you consider 2x4s and drywall. And even if you live in a steel building or a glass building, concrete, all that stuff is earth derived. So it's just a matter of perspective. And we are actually deep in the heart of the earth when we're indoors. We are not disconnected from the earth at any time. But of course, I see the benefit in nature. I see the benefit in going out barefoot on the soil, the fresh air. It all makes a huge difference. Definitely that has its benefits that sitting indoors doesn't. Don't get me wrong. So we just got to do the best we can with whatever moment we can, but it's the intention that counts. It's the intention that takes us forward. As long as we're not off planet, I guess. Even then, we can probably energetically connect with her. It's all good. But anyways, back to the ritual. We are going to start meditating now. Generally, I meditate every day for about 15 minutes, but today I'm going to go a bit extra because of the ritual, and I'm going to set it for 22 minutes. So I will see you guys in about that time. Well, not really. I'm just going to skip ahead here. Boom! Look at that. So because this is a new moon, it's the perfect time, like I said, to start new beginnings. But in order to do so, we have to recognize those things that have served us in the past and that we're moving past. So this is a good time right now just to take a moment and express gratitude for what has been, where you've come from, what you've been through, how it served you, and what's no longer serving you. Just take a breath, few breaths, and allow it to pass, allow it to go, so that the new can be filled in. You can't fill a cup that's already full, so we have to empty that which has already served us, and we can move forward into a new space. And the candle still has some life left in it, so we are going to write out our intentions that we wish to manifest through this new moon and moving forward. I'm going to be using pen and ink because I like to take it to that extra level. If you're writing anything out, you can list out whatever you want to manifest. You can itinerize it. You can do whatever, but write it out by hand, because if you type it, you don't spend the time that it would take in order to think it out as you're writing it. Typing it goes a lot quicker, and we tend to do that less consciously. As you're writing it, you can actually formulate your thoughts and really change and develop them as you take the time to write them out. So I'm just going to begin by writing my personal intentions here. And the rest of this stuff is a bit personal, so I'm going to just cut right here, and I'm going to allow this to dry. And the candle's pretty much done now, and we don't have any wax drippings. Normally these candles burn pretty well, but sometimes you'll get wax dripping down the side, and if you do, sometimes you can intuitively read that. If you're so inclined, there might be a message there, but today the candle burned clean, which is a very good sign. So I am going to get ready for a cleansing ritual, which today is going to just take the form of a shower. Some people like to do salt baths or make it really special. You could even go swimming in a lake or something. Make sure it's acceptable though. You don't want to be going out naked in the rain. So I'm just going to get ready for my shower here. Got on my bathrobe and get my towels and just slip on my slippers. And actually I'm using some tea tree oil soap with poppy seeds. The poppy seeds act as a really good exfoliator. But this is just a natural soap that's locally made here in Alberta, and I buy from Community Natural Foods. This is not an endorsement in any way though, but it's a really good soap, natural, and it has really good essential oils with it as well. For me, this is the one that corresponds to the moon, and ironically, this is the one I have on hand. So, and after the shower, I'm just going to shave. All right, now that that's done, I'm just going to put on a white shirt because that kind of represents, new beginnings. It's done drying, so I'm just going to put that up here. But another thing that I have are these beads for affirmations. Black pearl to correspond to the new moon. But for me, affirmations work really well. We got to say it in the present tense. I am, from first person point of view, Be saying those throughout the day. I'm going to be reading this as well. I am going to actually be eating right now. Breaking my fast, guys. So yeah, just putting that up just in front there so that I can see it as I'm working and just keep saying it. And of course, I'll be going over these as well just throughout the day. So you can say, I am reborn with this new moon, embracing any new beginnings presented to me. That's one. I am open to the unfolding path and synchronicity that flows into my world. And I let go of what is no longer serving me, and I'm open to receiving what is. Those are very good affirmations, and anything that's positive and expresses your idea into receiving a new beginning, that would help facilitate that. And you can say that as many times as you want. Again, like I use beads because as you're going over each one, like you can even keep track of how many you say. Like, not that that matters, but it helps. And also when you have the beads in your hand, you can get like in your day-to-day, you get distracted all the time. But if you have the beads in your hand, it's something to keep coming back to and start to keep reminding you. And that way you get a lot more affirmations in, and you're able to remind yourself to keep saying them. And say them with meaning, say them with feeling, because that is where the true power lies, in the I am first person and present tense. I'm going to say a couple of those and then I'm going to get right to eating. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what resonated with you. And subscribe for more edifying information like this. Because I have other videos like this. I also have a video on my daily morning routine, which kind of covers what I did here, but meditation, getting ready, that kind of stuff. But this is more important because this is kind of, we're entering a new phase, and I think we can all benefit from just taking the time, setting intentions, and really cultivating the sense that, you know, we are stepping into a new world and things are changing. We are changing and we're leveling up. So thank you for that. I commend you. The very fact you're watching this video means you're part of this leading edge in this high vibe tribe. So Joel signing out. I'm going to have my amazing vegan pizza here. Vegan pizza. Yay! So have an amazing day, my friends. Agape. Salaam. Namaste. See you in the next video. Vegan pizza. Alright. I trust you. Okay. Show me.
What are you doing here?
Take a walk with me.
I have too much work.
It's the first snow.
Yeah, I know, but they're waiting on me.
Come on, Tommy.
Please. I'll see you tonight.